By the time that this video is released, it will be 12 hours until the release of Night 3 for the Tower Defense Simulator Null and Void event. As I'm recording it, it is 14 hours and the icon is being updated every hour or so to reflect this, because obviously icons that show a countdown get more views apparently. As you can see here, Halloween Night 3, the final night, so it's being released Thursday, October 30th, 9 PM. My time. It's being released 5 PM EST, said to be last until November 12th at 8 PM, so I assume this is the bi-weekly thing that the developers will probably be doing until Wednesday the 12th of November. There'll probably be no updates until then. Might be shadow updates and small bug fix updates, but not anything major. All paths meet at crossroads as the inevitable draws near. The final showdown between the Riftwalker, Children of Exo, and TDS shall commence. Commander, will you save the meta? So it seems as if it is someone's talking to the commander in Thrall List himself about this, so it looks like it might be Dispatcher. But also, it looks like there are 3 factions within Tower Defense Simulator, well, Tower Defense Simulator realm, that being the Riftwalker, the Children of Exo, and the Tower Defense Simulator organization. I guess the Riftwalker is a neutral party which balances the forces between Tower Defense Simulator organization and the Children of Exo. But it also looks like the Tower Defense Simulator organization are trying to take down the Riftwalker, which, who can foresee the consequences of that, given that they clearly put in a lot of effort to bring the meta into balance or something like that, because that's why they say like the God Cube fragments must be shattered because of the power I guess it holds. But also, interestingly, behind the Riftwalker you can see Lord Exo, and interestingly enough, the Lord Exo torso, it has a transparent torso that's seen, the same one that's seen in Night 2. I don't know if you've seen my Night 2 video about all of the references there, but Lord Exo does appear there, and also it has a similar torso, so I don't think that this translucent torso is a glitch anymore, because in the past, Lord Exo has just had a skeleton bone and not the translucent thing here. Although with that being said, in the cutscenes it does have this translucent torso, although I might be misremembering, maybe it doesn't have the completely transparent torso part. So yeah, I think I'm wrong. And in the icon for the nil zone, it's the same thing. So yeah, I'm probably wrong. It's also funny how the description mentions the Children of Exo, and the Children of Exo actually have not appeared in the Null and Void event at all, which is interesting because they've appeared in every other event previously, so I'd assume that they get name dropped or they appear in Night 3 as like some sort of thing after we defeat the Riftwalk, and they're like, ha ha ha, you defeated the only thing stopping us from bringing back Lord Exo, da da da, here's Lord Exo, boom, which probably explains why Lord Exo is in the background and why it does appear that it has some sort of face. So it looks like maybe the Riftwalkers, being neutral, they're trying to prevent Lord Exo from being created by like the creation of the God Cube, and the Children of Exo are like, well, we're going to let the TDS organization do the dirty work and actually kill the Riftwalker, which is holding the balance in place. This is also pertinent because we actually do know all 3 Children of Exo names. We know who Titus is, we know Sentinel Raminal, we know Marcellius, and we know Kronos. The only thing is, we only know those last 2 names because I think the script writers for Tower Defense Simulator may have leaked those. Titus we definitely do know, and actually Titus does make a cameo appearance in the nil zone because we defeated it and we sent it down to the nil zone. So actually, if the portal is anything to go by at the end of the cutscene, maybe Titus reappears because of some whatever reason. Like that portal may be leading us to the Riftwalk himself, and that's where he goes and tries and kill us. Also, I would be very interested to know where the narrator plays in all of this, because the narrator, if you remember, was pulled into the portal with the rest of us. So it looks like potentially there could be 4 factions, right? You have the narrator, you have the Children of Exo, you have the TDS organization, and then you have the Riftwalker. Now, it actually might be the case where the narrator is actually a secret child of Exo all of this time. Imagine if he takes off his top hat and says, listen guys, I'm actually Kronos, I'm actually one of the Children of Exo. That would be very interesting. And the reason why he's down in the nil zone is probably to bring back Titus, because he's down there. The corrupted Titus is down there. we'll see. That is potentially a interesting thing. There's not too much to go on with this thumbnail leak for Night 3. It looks very similar to the Solar Eclipse, if anyone remembers that, but it looks like the Riftwalker is holding up the moon or stuff. Some part in the background woo, I expect it to be a double path at the very least, maybe even a triple or a quadruple path. It looks like it's being held in some sort of castle, a ruined castle, and it looks like very similar to a Alter Ego map, the one with the Crossroads map in Alter Ego, I think. The only problem is, I don't think Alter Ego and Tower Defense Simulator actually do clash over in any circumstance, although the developers may want to write this into the Night 3 process, who knows. Now, I haven't mentioned this, but the badges have been updated for their description. So, as you can see here, they say, "Commander, is that you?" which is the title of the teleporting into the matchmaking, earned by defeating the Null Commander in hard mode in the Null and Void event. Complete all 3 nights on hard to unlock the event tower. Same for Night 2, except the Night 2 badges, they don't have hard, only the Night 1 have easy. So, escape your eternal demise, earned by defeating the Null Guardian on hard in the Null and Void event. Complete all 3 nights on hard to unlock the event tower. Night 1 easy, says Commander, is that you? Earned by defeating Null Commander, There's no reward, it seems like, for beating easy mode on all 3 nights, but there is a reward in hard mode. Hard mode suggests that there will be an event tower, whereas easy mode suggests there'll be nothing. Now, I'm not sure if you require Night 1 and Night 2 to actually play Night 3. I'll have to check if you actually need Night 1 to even beat Night 2, but if that's not the case, then you could probably beat all of the nights in a different random order. Okay, so I've created a new account, I've skipped the tutorial, and you still get the badge, even though you've skipped through the tutorial. Okay, fair enough. But let's see. So I assume actually that the nights would be rank locked, are they? Let's see. Yeah, play Night 1 to unlock. So it looks like you do have to beat all the nights in order to get the other nights. So you must beat Night 1 before you unlock Night 2, and then you must beat Night 2 to unlock Night 3, which makes sense, and it's not like the Hexcape events where you didn't need to beat the previous nights to unlock the next night. I assume you can't circumvent this by getting invited into a party and then someone goes up to Night 2 and then beats it for you, but if that's the case, then the developers have something big on their hands, I guess. In terms of badges, the Night 3 badges have not yet been made, so it doesn't look like we've leaked whoever the final boss is, although with that being said, it's probably very likely to be the Riftwalker. Probably no speculation needed on that. However, interestingly enough, the Game Pass for the Event Tower has been leaked, because, I mean, obviously ignore this Hello World Game Pass, but here you see Event Tower created 10 hours ago and updated 10 hours ago, so they've just made the new Game Pass. Now, it's not actually been updated on this website here, but if you were to view on Roblox, you can see that the new tower is the Warlock Tower, so some sort of male wizard, witch tower, so a conjuring tower of sorts, so very similar to the Necromancer in terms of names, but the icon itself, not too sure if that is similar to the Necromancer. It does look very unique though. It doesn't look like any other tower we've seen. It doesn't have like the standard Roblox face, although this may not be the the base level version that they're using for the icon. Additionally, it's very nerdy, but the border for this icon is not golden. The other icons in the store, if you check them out, they are normally golden, but also the Warlock Game Pass appears in the store for some reason. Okay, that's interesting. I would have thought that they kept this a secret, but no, they've actually publicly displayed it. But you can buy it for 32 million Robux. 32 million Robux, 323,232 Robux. The joke here being that 32, 32, 32, 32. Obviously, this is a running gag in Tower Defense Simulator, naming everything after 32. Obviously, famously, after everyone thought that it was a clue for the hidden wave, which it wasn't. The clue was actually binary, but no one could actually translate it from the shapes that it was presented as into binary. So that's why 32 is a running gag in Tower Defense Simulator. I have a video on it. Now, I assume, oh actually I do know, that this price is obviously just a placeholder. I don't know why the developers have put it on sale. I don't know, just to tease us, I guess. But the 32 million Robux is just a placeholder. I expect when Tower Defense Simulator fully releases, it will be, I don't know, 799 Robux at max, maybe even 899 Robux. The developers may want to push it, but I think most common estimates put it at like 599 Robux, maybe even 699 Robux. Nothing going to, it's not going to be over like 1,000 Robux. And if you were to buy this 32 million Robux Game Pass, I don't expect it to actually work in the current version of Tower Defense Simulator. You won't get the Warlock Tower. The only reason why I think that is probably because the tower itself isn't probably in the game right now, because the developers probably don't want to leak it. But if anyone has 32 million Robux laying around, bearing in mind that is about $320,000, do let me know, because I would be very interested if anyone actually buys these placeholder game passes. I think there is a non-zero chance that someone has bought it just to see that actually it doesn't work, but given 32 million Robux is not a common occurrence in anyone's Robux accounts, I really doubt if this has occurred. And since no one has voted here, and you need to actually own the Game Pass before you can vote on it, I have to assume that this isn't a way that someone has actually bought it for yet. So yeah, for now, no one's bought it. Now, on Twitter, the Tower Defense Simulator account has been tweeting some stuff. The Null Zone's unstable energy was created from endless eons of war. Look at what it has done to your Necromancer. Imagine what it can do when it's harnessed. So it looks like there's going to be a Null Necromancer coming up in Night 3. It also looks like the Null Zone is where everything unstable is deposited, hence why it is unstable if you go down there. It also, because the Necromancer summons skeletons in, looks like there's going to be Null skeletons, and I wonder if there's going to be like a Null giant skeleton or a Null executioner skeleton, which would be very cool. Additionally, Below Natural has reposted some cutscenes of the rough draft for the Night 3, and interestingly enough, there are some things shown off here which I actually didn't notice. So here, the orange stuff, they are like the leaks from Night 2, and I don't think this person created it, but look in the background, you'll notice that the creator, Below Natural, is featured here, and you also notice some other stuff. So obviously TDS logo, that is there, but also here, the bunny enemy appears, and the bunny enemy doesn't actually appear in the cutscene, nor does it appear in the game. The creator doesn't appear in the game, but if you check the cutscene, that is Lord Exo in the background, so it should be here. The creator does it appear here? I don't. It may do. The Mentins tells me reliably that it actually does appear, but it's very, very subtle. So here you can very clearly see that the creator takes up the entirety of the screen, and here I think this is in fact the creator. So Below Natural does actually have a cameo in Night 2. The only problem is it's really, really hard to actually identify the creator, and actually it does make sense because the A, B and C do also appear in Night 2, and also the SCT, the Fallen Scout, also does appear in the Night 2. The only enemies that are probably iconic that don't appear are the developers. The only reason why I can think the developers don't exist is because all of the developers no longer actually participate in Tower Defense Simulator anymore for various reasons. Many of them retired. Another one, we'll talk about that probably in a different video, because I don't think the controversy for the community, it's not been public yet, and I'm not here to speculate. One final point to make out is it's very likely for Night 3 that the best the best group to do the event in is probably going to be either duo or trio, given that for Night 1 and Night 2 the best ways are actually solo and duo, because the health scales, the more players that you have, but also you get less economy per player. Now obviously it's more spread around, so you're not actually losing too much economy, but by spreading it out, it means that you can't really invest into one heavy hitting tower as you can in solo mode and get, I don't know, the Firework Technician, which easily deals with splash damage towards enemies. I assume Night 3 will be able to support up to 4 players, but I'd assume that it's a bad idea to actually use all 4 players, so I think many people are probably going to go trio for this. And I think the best method is probably going to be trio or duo, and maybe it's going to be possible in solo modes, given that you could solo Night 1 and Night 2 in hard, but for the Hexcape event, I don't think you could actually solo Night 3 hard mode.